If you love something, let it free. If it comes back, then it's yours and meant to be. And if not, then move on. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. One of your worst enemies will be your own ego. It will tell you that you are never wrong, that you are invincible, that you have no weaknesses. Regularly tell your ego to shut up. You never realize when the most cherished moments of your life are happening. Try to enjoy every day. Your life won't go as planned, and trust me, it's a good thing. Prepare for each moment to be a learning moment. When nothing can go wrong, it will. You will be pulled down out of jealousy. Don't get surprised. It's normal. A bad phase of your life can start at any time. Most of the time, you have to swallow the pain and learn to grow up by yourself. Don't make one person the center of all your happiness. Don't make them the reason why you are happy, because once that person walks away from your life, you're left with nothing. Trust wisely and not blindly. Never expect someone to catch you when you fall, even if you have caught many from falling. It's easier to get into a thing than out of it. Mostly, people will treat you according to their needs and greed. If someone says something and then says I am joking, he or she is always serious about that said thing. People only want to hear the good, not the bad. So if you have issues, it'll be hard to find people to confide in. Once you hurt someone, they're not likely to forget. They will always how much you've hurt them. One negligible action can have devastating consequences. People want you to succeed, but not more than themselves. No is one of the most powerful words in existence. Don't be a people pleaser. You'll be alone in the most difficult times of your life. These times will make you wise, mature, and fearless. When you're working for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. No matter what good you do to people, they will only remember your mistakes. To reach somewhere, you need to leave something behind. It's best to leave things at the right time. Otherwise, you are left with too many regrets and complaints. You may not realize this, but the people you love are your biggest weaknesses. What other people think of you is none of your business. Bad times are actually a boon because they wake you up to the good things you never paid attention to. If you are impatient, life will always be harder. Patience can do wonders. Trust is easy to build but can be shattered in seconds. Worrying doesn't take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. Don't be afraid to make a hard choice. The hard choices are the best you end up making. The more you spend clinging to the past, the less likely your future will be any brighter. Action is 10 times more valuable than reading, and planning. Experience is the best teacher. Respect yourself, because people can see if you don't. Anyone you love can die anytime. Cherish them. Nothing is ever as easy as it seems. Good things do come to those who wait and suffer. It might take time and be a long and rough road, but it's completely and totally worth it. Whether it's a machine, a house, or a relationship, maintenance is always cheaper than repairing. We cry over people, but what about time? Time is also never going to come back. Time is everything, and one day it will define you. Things that will count you, your health, and your achievements. You make the best decisions when in pain, because fear of experiencing the same pain again is the strongest motivator. The harder your past was, the more beautiful your future will be. Most of the stuff you worry about never happens. You attract what you are. You want to attract better. Become better. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is a part of getting over. Before you are old, attend as many funerals as you can bear and listen. Nobody talks about the departed's achievements. The only thing people will remember is what kind of person you were while you were achieving. Have at least one person in your life who gives you honest opinions. It's good to be generous, benign, and magnanimous, but there's a limit or you'll be taken for granted. Holding on to things will always make you more stressed. Things won't happen in a certain way just because you want them to happen that way. Learn from what people do, not from what they tell you. Don't react in anger. Immediately wait for it to subside. What's said or done in anger is irreversible. Don't overshare. Privacy is power. Don't regret the past, because at that moment, you did your best. See people for who they are, not who you need them to be. Never jump to conclusions. Be discerning and let people show you their true colors. Never overlook contempt. When someone views you with contempt, and talks to you like you're beneath them, they will likely do you harm. Whether relationally, socially, or physically, remove that person from your life. Never lend money because you might lend it to friends for a few days, but retrieve it from fools for years. Never share your problems with friends before finding a solution, no matter how challenging it is. Don't show your weaknesses. People will enjoy the show. Don't be weak in front of them. Listen to the people who tell you what you don't want to hear. Self-pity is dangerous. Stay away from it. Just because you are going through hell right now doesn't mean you will never smile again. Pain is purely temporary. You spend all your health initially for wealth, and then you spend all your wealth for one day of good health. Holding grudges will never harm people you hate, only you. Time defines you. You will not be defined well by anything other than time. Time is the most powerful force. How hard you fight, it will do what it wants to. Holding grudges will never harm people you hate, only you. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. The greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark. I'd rather regret the things I've done than regret the things I haven't done. If the world were perfect, it wouldn't be. Never does nature say one thing and wisdom another. You are a product of your environment, so choose the environment that will best develop you toward your objective. Analyze your life in terms of its environment. Are the things around you helping you toward success, or are they holding you back? Knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. Start with what is right rather than what is acceptable. The way you see people is the way you treat them, and the way you treat them is what they become. Once you label me, you negate me. Sorrow is knowledge. Those that know the most must mourn the deepest. The tree of knowledge is not the tree of life. Never interrupt someone doing what you said couldn't be done. The teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your mind. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. If you set out to be liked, you would be prepared to compromise on anything at any time, and you would achieve nothing. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. The greater our knowledge increases, the more our ignorance unfolds. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The realist adjusts the sails. By 3 methods, we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. For beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness. And for poise, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone. Trouble shared is trouble halved. We are what our thoughts have made us, so take care about what you think. Words are secondary. Thoughts live, they travel far. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Work like you don't need the money. Love like you've never been hurt. Dance like nobody's watching. Step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. A man must be big enough to admit his mistakes, smart enough to profit from them, and strong enough to correct them. Use what talents you possess. The woods would be very silent if no birds sang there except those that sang best. Set your course by the stars, not by the lights of every passing ship. Turn your wounds into wisdom. A tree is known by its fruit, a man by his deeds. A good deed is never lost. He who sows courtesy reaps friendship, and he who plants kindness gathers love. The higher we are placed, the more humbly we should walk. It's better to be a lion for a day than a sheep all your life. To win without risk is to triumph without glory. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery. Today is God's gift. That's why we call it the present. It is a common experience that a problem difficult at night is resolved in the morning after the committee of sleep has worked on it. Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. If you don't know where you are going, any road will get you there. It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Talent is God-given. Be humble. Fame is man-given. Be grateful. Conceit is self-given. Be careful. The more you like yourself, the less you are like anyone else, which makes you unique. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Always be a first-rate version of yourself, instead of a second-rate version of somebody else. As you walk down the fairway of life, you must smell the roses, for you only get to play one round. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. I will not follow where the path may lead, but I will go where there is no path, and I will leave a trail. Dost thou love life? Then do not squander time, for that is the stuff life is made of. Our character is what we do when we think no one is looking.